Thank you again so much for joining us today for Unique Benefits in the Workplace. My name is Allison, and I just want to remind everyone, even though you were told when you logged in, we are going to be recording this presentation. A recording of today's presentation will be provided after the presentation, along with some follow-up material. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but just our disclaimer that this is being recorded. Real quick, BlueLion is hosting the event. BlueLion is a human resources and operations consulting company. We primarily service the New England area, New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts, and we specialize in mid to small-sized employers. I'm going to be your host today. I've been with BlueLion since we started the business. I founded the business with my business partner. Typically, her and I will host this event together. She is out on maternity leave, was just blessed with a baby girl 2 weeks ago. So we're super excited for the newest member of our Pride, Maze. But that leaves me hosting you myself. But we're going to have fun today. So definitely put on your seatbelts because we do have quite the presentation. I'm excited for the guests that we have joining us today. I'm not going to run down the list. I'm going to talk about each of them a little bit more as I introduce them throughout the presentation. Also throughout today, I'm going to be interjecting in between presentations with some more unique benefits that you can think about offering to your employees. One of the first ones I like to get started with is one that Tony and I implemented with BlueLion from day one that we started our business. We are a Pledge 1% company. Now, some people may think this isn't really a benefit for my employees. Why are you talking about this? Benefits don't just have to be something you're giving to your employees. It can be something about your organization and your culture that is helping them to stay. And as we know in the marketplace today, it's very hard to find good help, but then also to retain them. This is one of those things that's going to help you attract good talent. So we pledge to give 1% of our time, our profit, and our product back to our community. Pledge 1% is a nonprofit. They also do allow people to pledge 1% of their equity. You don't have to do all of them. You don't even have to do 3 of them. You could even just pledge one of those items. But by going to the website pledge1%.org, you can sign up and make that commitment. Next, I'm going to talk about thanks. So thanks is a form of giving. It is particularly designed for companies to thank their clients, but we've seen a lot of companies get creative and they use this platform to actually thank their employees. So it's a way for you to go into the app and you can select maybe a cup of coffee for 2. And I could send Bob over in accounting, who really helped me out with that report I needed, a cup of coffee for 2. So it's a way to show appreciation and gratitude. And it could be something that your team could use for just those one-off things when someone just went above and beyond or someone was really doing a great job at a project. This is becoming my favorite, and I want this every day. Companies are offering things like no meeting days. Most companies find that their staff is bogged down with meetings. So you're asking your employees, why are you not productive or why are we not getting to these projects? And they're like, I have meetings. Look at my calendar. Meeting. I'm prepping for a meeting. I'm in a meeting and then I'm recapping from a meeting. Meeting. So we've seen employers actually blocking off a day. The entire company is not allowed to have meetings. It is just purely a day that you can start your work, do your work, and finish your work and not have any interruptions with meetings. This is a no-cost benefit. So you can offer this benefit to your employees without asking permission from the bottom line. So it's a no meeting day. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Shay, and Shay is coming to us. She is a holistic wellness practitioner, and she's going to talk about bringing wellness into the workplace.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me okay? Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Allison, for the invite. So my name is Shay, and I'm a therapist and a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher, and I work with companies whose employees are just burnt out, especially with COVID that we've had over the last 18 months. People have found it really hard to separate their personal time from their work time because so many people are working from home. And so on average, employees spend about 50 hours a week at work, whether it's at home or in the office. And so there's more of an expectation now, especially with Gen Zers and millennials coming into the workforce. They want businesses that offer workplace wellness, a little more flexibility, and this wellness focused lifestyle that people are really looking for right now. But traditionally, workplace wellness has been focused mostly on gym memberships or gym reimbursements. I know when I worked at a company several years ago, there was like a dental reimbursement, and those tend to be more of the physical wellness aspects. But there's definitely been a big shift in recent years to create workplace wellness that serves mental, physical, emotional, and energetic health of their employees. So Allison, if you want to switch, yeah, perfect. So I thought I would just share some information about the value of workplace wellness. I mean, when you can keep employees, you have higher employee satisfaction, you're going to reduce costs for the business overall. So you've got reduced medical costs, you've got reduced employee turnover, reduced sick leave and absenteeism, and overall promoting stress reduction and resilience, which is so important right now with everything going on with COVID. Value of investment, and this is one of the goals of this whole presentation, how do you get the best talent in your company? And it's creating a company that cares about its employees, improving relationships and communication and collaboration for the people that actually work at that business, improving productivity. And there's been a lot of research around workplace wellness, around even just creativity and innovation. So when you create this workplace wellness program, it has this trickle-down effect into every other area of the business. Switch. Perfect. So workplace wellness solutions. So I work with businesses anywhere from 3 to 5 employees up to dozens and hundreds of employees, because we do have the option to offer on-site telehealth services. We also do workshops, and we do 4, 8, and 12-week programs. And the 2 big focuses over the last year have really been around self-care, especially because people aren't able to say, this is my work time and this is my home time. So self-care, and then also stress management, again, understandable given the state of the world right now. And so we offer, like I said, 4, 8, and 12-week programs to really teach people how to take care of themselves, how to manage stress, so they can feel better in their life, but also show up for work, being productive and creative. So a few services that we offer: we do yoga therapy, we do yoga and meditation classes, mindfulness classes, we do Reiki, sound healing, and some body work. And so, of course, some of these things are done in person, but a majority of them can be done via telehealth. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shay, for sharing that with us today. And I just want to highlight the virtual option. So if your staff is still currently virtual, Shay's program can work both in person, but also virtual. So it's also a good way to bring your team together. Maybe you're split right now, half in person, half virtual. You can still bring your team together on some of these wellness things. And mindfulness and meditation is really, really beneficial at these times. So thanks, Shay.
And some of it can be pre-recorded, so they don't even have to be there live. So it's a convenience factor. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. That's great. So next, we're kind of going to shift a little bit to something most people don't talk about, which is will preparation services. So you're going to find today, we're going to talk about unique things you could offer. So this is something very unique. Most of our employers don't currently offer this, most of our clients, but it's definitely something I would encourage you to look into if you're kind of trying to get creative. You could partner with a service that does preparation and kind of bring them in to do a presentation to your team about why it's important. So you may not necessarily pay for the preparation of their will or their estate, but you're connecting the pieces. So we always know, we know that our staff is always torn between work life and home life balance. So there's a million things to do every day, and most of the things that they need are closed when they get home and are only open while they're working. So offering things like bringing somebody in to talk to them about the importance of having it, allowing them that time to schedule time to meet with this person could be a definite added bonus. And you're helping them think about the things that they wouldn't be thinking about. Most people don't think about this until, unfortunately, it's too late. Switching kind of gears completely, talking about ICHRA. So ICHRAs are newer to the marketplace in the last few years. It's becoming a very hot topic. ICHRA stands for Individual Coverage health reimbursement arrangement. And what this is an employer sets up an account where each employee can actually go out, pick their own insurance in the marketplace, they pick their own benefits, and then the employer pays their portion. So they submit the receipt, they pay a portion. There are companies out here that actually will facilitate this and administer it for you. It's kind of an alternative to your traditional healthcare. Healthcare is not really one size fits all. So if you're kind of struggling with whether or not to offer insurance because you're afraid of the cost, this also can help fix your cost. But it's also an alternative to your traditional healthcare options. And moving into some more alternatives to traditional healthcare or additions to, I'm going to pass it over to Jarrell. Jarrell is from Aflac, and he's going to talk to us about some voluntary employee benefits.
Thanks, Allison. Next slide. So literally what I like to do today is just give you guys some context around sort of why Aflac is a really good fit for sort of what Allison was just alluding to, is complementing some of the other employee benefits that you provide your staff or people that you're trying to recruit to come work for your company. What we're finding in the market today is there's this concept around high deductible plans where organizations are trying to reduce their costs, but at the same time, what it's doing is it's shifting some of the costs over to their employees. So what Aflac did like 20 years ago when they first got into this is they figured out that there's going to be this portion of health insurance through high deductible plans that employees will also need to insure. So that's how we get to how Aflac basically owns about 90% of this market. There's a couple of areas in the insurance market that Aflac focuses on. There's three key areas. One is we're looking for situations where employees, like I said, they're trying to basically address high deductible plans, deductibles, going to urgent care, going to ER visits, and they have to pay that out of their pocket. Aflac provides plans that are targeted specifically for that. We call that outpatient treatment. We also provide short-term disability. This is becoming a huge topic. COVID has really bubbled this to the surface. Where individuals, when they get sick or they get injured off the job, they need to replace their income, because what we're seeing, research-wise, is most people, when they have a major injury, they're out of work for somewhere between 2 months or 3 months. So having a short-term disability plan that covers off the job disabilities is really, really good for your employees. And then financial protection for families. Aflac provides whole life or term life insurance. I pretty much position this with my clients around final expenses and things of that nature to help the family transition when that income from that individual is no longer contributing to their standard of living. Next slide. Some of the human resource employee benefits challenges that we're seeing. I think this group has been chiming this for a while. Attracting and retaining top talent. That's huge. And I find with a lot of the small to medium-sized businesses that I work with that provide health insurance, they also are having a hard time being able to attract and retain talent, just separating the whole COVID paradigm, because what's happening is employees are looking for things in addition to their health insurance. So Aflac is another way to complement how you can give what we call a complete benefit package to your employees. I won't go through all of these. Yeah, thank you. I won't go through all of these. How Aflac basically supports the human resources in attracting. It basically is designed to cover gaps in their health insurance, like I said, deductibles, co-insurance, and the like. It's very, very affordable. If the employer doesn't want to pay for it, the employees can basically pay for it, and it's still very, very affordable for their employees. Like I said, a complimentary benefits administration. I basically help and work directly with the human resources to provide the education as well as the claims process for their employees. And then Aflac provides value-added services, subsidizing pre-tax, as well as someone just mentioned, telemedicine. Next slide.
That is your last slide, Jerome.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. Appreciate you presenting. I know we all have had that one person in our life that has had the benefit of having Aflac when they needed it. Great benefits Aflac offers supplemental. Keeping in mind, a lot of their benefits are supplemental, so you can still have a traditional health plan and then add on those supplemental benefits to your staff and let them pick kind of what's important to them, whether it's a cancer policy or the accident policy. Next, we have CPR training. So after you get the hospital bill that Aflac didn't help you pay because you didn't sign up and you have a heart attack, we want to know how to do CPR. So offering through, we've reached out to Life Safety Institute, so we have for a resource on this one. So through them, they actually come on site and they will conduct a CPR training, which is twofold. It helps you with your on-site staff knowing what to do in an emergency on-site, but it also helps them at home. So in their out of work life, they now have this tool and this research. Should something ever happen, they're equipped with how to help somebody. So providing these type of trainings, again, it's an added benefit that you're giving to your staff. It's not a requirement that you give this training. So it definitely would fall under the benefit umbrella. Next one's one of my favorites. I mean, let's be honest, the only reason that we enjoy flying is the free snacks. So having snacks in the workplace absolutely will boost my morale. These are just 4 different types of places you can get workplace snacks. Each is actually a little bit different. So if you're thinking about pulling in and bringing in snacks into your workplace, definitely look around at all the different options. Some are healthier than others. Some have your employees putting in more input than others do. They all have different types of schedules, but everyone loves food. Everyone hates the 2 o'clock crash. So having some handy snacks, your staff is really going to love that added benefit. And with talking about healthy snacks, I'm now going to transition over to Jennifer Wall from Nutrition in Motion. She's the director of marketing there, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the services they offer.
What a great segue. I'm going to have to take note. I'm going to go back and watch the recording and take note of some of those healthy snack companies, because employers are asking us all the time. We've done, menu reviews and things like that. But that's a great resource we'll definitely have to take advantage of. One of the things that I wanted to open with is kind of a question that we all have a lot of answers to. What are the biggest challenges related to employee wellness? And there are a lot of them. So we can go to the next slide. We are constantly evaluating these types of challenges, whether it's time, resources, money, support, engagement. This is something that's been at the core of our employee wellness process from the beginning, and has been so beneficial to us being able to adapt in the COVID environment over the last 18 or so months. And so we're really grateful that that's been at the core of our philosophy when it comes to employee wellness. We can go to the next slide. So we're taking into consideration challenges that the employer is facing to creating a healthy work environment and supporting their employees' wellness. We're also taking into consideration the challenges that the individual employees are facing. Obviously, as we pull together resources, support, dispelling conflicting information, and all of those types of things that employees are facing. So Nutrition in Motion is a nutrition-based wellness company comprised of a team of registered dietitians. And our philosophy with offering employee wellness is to address these challenges and help individuals and employers overcome them. We can go to the next slide. So what we do, obviously we offer nutrition-based wellness services, but our goal is to always offer a customized solution, absorb the burden of implementation. So, we hear that whether it's HR or wellness teams are really wearing so many hats these days. I know that's an overused phrase, but I think we can all resonate with it. So we want to absorb some of that burden, as much of it as we possibly can. We want to engage with employees in as many ways that we possibly can, communicate progress as we go along, and adapt and grow with the group. So our goal in employee wellness is not to come in for a week or two and send you to the healthy snack company and then be on our way. We really want to address those challenges, as I mentioned, and adapt programs and resources for the group so that we can create a healthier working environment. We can go to the next slide. And I apologize if I'm talking quickly because I can tend to drone on. One of the things that we do to absorb some of that burden, we hear from employers a lot that promoting wellness programs takes up a huge amount of their time and resources. So we work to create the marketing materials, host in-person and online events, create engaging and informative classes and kickoff presentations so that we can help to create a culture of wellness and build a rapport and trust with employees so that HR can phase out of that piece, and we can take the responsibility for promoting, especially, obviously our wellness programs to the employees, and they begin to trust the programs that we're presenting. Some of the things that we've done during COVID to obviously address remote employees and things of that nature. In addition to live online events, we've been doing a ton of recordings and everything, again, to try to create a customized experience, but also navigate some of the challenges that employers are facing in presenting wellness to their employees. We can go to the next slide. We also work to streamline our processes as much as possible. So again, we want to reduce that burden on HR. So we handle all enrollment, or as much of the enrollment as we possibly can, or take away any of the burden on enrolling people in a program. So the marketing is one thing, but then the navigating of scheduling and all of that is a whole other beast to tackle. So we take care of that. And then we work to integrate with as many existing resources as possible. So, we have worked with EAP programs, other wellness vendors, to try to create as much of a cohesive experience for the employee as we can. And then drill down to that individual customization. So we want to make sure that we're not only customizing to the group, but also customizing to the individual employee. And I'll talk about that in a moment. We can go to the next slide. So one of the things that we have been hearing a lot of is that wellness feels really fragmented. So companies that are maybe just getting started in wellness tends to dive into this example that we have on the left here, right? They might do a biometric screening or some sort of wellness event in the first part of the year, then maybe some lunch and learn classes, then maybe throw in a step challenge or a chair massage or something like that. And wellness becomes this really fragmented, siloed experience for the employees. They don't really have a roadmap. They don't know what's coming next, and they don't really see how it fits together into their overall wellness. So whether or not all of those things are hosted by Nutrition in Motion, we want to be a part of the wellness team that's working with employees. So we work to bring together that wellness experience so that anything that Nutrition in Motion is hosting fits into an overall roadmap for employees. And we can create a more cohesive feeling to help employees feel more engaged in their wellness process. Go to the next slide. So what do we actually do? We host a multitude of different services because we know that every employer and every employee is in a different place in their wellness journey. So we have standalone services like lunch and learn classes, one-on-ones with a registered dietitian. We have multi-week programs. And then as you saw there, we also focus on that comprehensive annual picture. And we can do as little or as much of that annual programming as the employer is open to or wants us to do, from biometric screening, outcomes and incentives tracking. We can really adapt the program to meet the needs of the group. And then just to touch on those one-on-ones with a registered dietitian, that's where we can drill down to that individual customization for each individual employee. We can go to the next slide. So I can't leave the conversation without talking about affordability. So we do have an affordable pricing model that in many, many cases can include insurance coverage. We offer pre-authorization services to help the employer understand what that employer-sponsored plan might cover. But in many cases, we're able to get most, if not all, of the expenses of the wellness program covered by insurance. And that ties back to our utilization of our team of registered licensed dietitians. But any questions about pricing can absolutely reach out to us. We're happy to navigate that. But affordability is at the core of our programs because we really do believe that wellness and wellness resources, especially nutrition resources, should be accessible to everyone. So we really believe it. People can feel good and they can feel good about themselves, and we want to help get them there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And here's Jen's
Thank you.
contact information. Just also a point I want to make, we are going to provide everyone's contact information, a complete copy of the slide deck. So do not feel like you need to be writing down websites or any contact information through this. Quick memo about, or a note about Jen's team. In a prior life, I actually worked at a company that brought in Nutrition in Motion. And through 2 to 3 years of the program with Nutrition in Motion, we actually saw staff come off their diabetic medication. We had staff drastic weight loss. It was a huge boost to the morale of the staff, but it also helped with our claims for insurance because we were reducing their sickness, which was great. So Nutrition in Motion is definitely awesome. She actually mentioned during her presentation as well, EAP programs or employee assistance programs. These are meant to really help your staff with life, and life matters. Things like mental health struggles, substance abuse, what to do if a loved one passes away and you just don't know what to do or where to start. You can reach out to an EAP. I would always recommend starting with your short-term disability provider or your healthcare provider. Commonly, they have an EAP program that they'll pair or partner with. So just reach out and make sure you don't already have a resource included in one of the benefits that you're offering your staff. Home cleaning services. So you're gonna see a trend through most of the presentation today. It's talking about benefits that are helping our staff with stresses in life. So one of the stresses in life is time. We cannot stop time. If anybody knows how to stop time, please let me know. I will pay you lots of money. So we can't really give them time except for giving them time off from work. So what else we could do is provide them with services that help give them more time with their families. So common complaint that you hear is, I don't have enough time. I'm spending so much time at work. I can't take care of my family. I can't do these things. They're losing joy in their life because they're looking at the 40+ hours they're spending at work and then the little bit of time they get with their family. And then when you tack in all of life's things that they're doing, there's not much time left for enjoyment. So providing services like home cleaning. Now, obviously, you might not be able to offer home cleaning to every one of your employees for every month, but maybe it's something you offer upon anniversary. Maybe it's a deep cleaning that they get, or maybe it's a reward for someone that went and did an exceptional job. It's just those extra little things that you can do to really help retain and show value to your staff. A typical home cleaning is between $150 to $250. And then there's some resources there of some local cleaning companies. Dry cleaning service, again, you've got to drop it off. You got to remember that you dropped it off. You got to go back and pick it up. There's a lot of services that will actually come and do pickup. So if you work in a large enough office, it may be beneficial to create a partnership with a company that's local that they'll come in once a week and do pickup and drop off. So if they're picking up the dry cleaning from all of your staff and then they're coming back and dropping it off, your staff is no longer having to take their lunch break to run and do that or remember to do that. And again, it's just those added little benefits that really go a mile. You could even on this one, find a company that would do it for free because you're bringing them all of your company's business. So depending on the size of your population that would utilize this service, then this might be one of those benefits you could add at no cost, which we all know HR departments love no cost. With that, we are going to pass it over to Lisa Stedman, who is going to talk about our favorite furry Friends.
Oh boy. And speaking of no cost, this too is a no cost, no expense to the employer benefit. So really the employer is the conduit to a portal that offers 5% discount or more on pet insurance for your employees. Pet insurance is incredibly popular right now. Fortune 500 companies are really buying in, and 1 in 3 are participating in pet insurance. So pet insurance at its very core is something that reimburses for accidents, illness, or even preventative care for a pet. But pet insurance can also include things like vacation cancellation due to the sickness of a pet, loss or theft of a pet, even funeral expenses or damage liability if your pet gets out and disturbs somebody else's property. So pet insurance includes lots of things, and the more parts you decide to get or the client decides to get, the more expensive it is, of course. Preventative would include things like dental, spay, neuter, vaccinations, but it can be packaged together in a way that is entirely customizable per person, so they can pick sort of a budget that works for them. And we'll get into that in just a second. You know, it's good to have pet insurance because it is the most requested employee benefit in a lot of cases. And what we mean when we say improve culture here is that they have less stress and less worry, because pet injuries, unexpected things can be very worrisome for your employees. And if they have one less thing to worry about, that's wonderful. There are 82 million dogs and 87 million cats in the United States. And worldwide, pet insurance is becoming very, very popular. In Sweden, 42% of households with pets have pet insurance, 30% in the UK, and in the United States, it's less than 2%. However, it doubled from 2018 to 2021. So it is becoming, as I said, very much more popular. You want to protect your entire family because your pets are your dependents too. Next slide. Sorry. And here's just a couple of examples of what it may cost if your pet gets itself into trouble. For an object, $3,000, dysplasia, $7,000, hit by a car, $3,700, cancer, $9,000, torn ACL, $5,400. That's money that you're willing to spend because your pet is a part of your family. So next slide, please. FIGO pet insurance is the most popular pet insurance. There are lots of other carriers as well, but FIGO is rated the best, and especially best in technology since 2020, because they have lots of built-in features on their Pet Cloud app. The app, it can hold all of your pet's records. It can send you text reminders about your pet's birthday or flea or tick treatment or appointments. It has lost pet technology with GPS. They even send you a cute little tag that has a number on it that you put on your pet when you enroll with them. And there's a business locator for things like groomers, pet parks, vets, daycare, pet stores, things like that. So there is a lot more to go with it. And let's go to the next slide, because this slide demonstrates how easy it is to sign up or at least get a quote with FIGO. So try it yourself. It takes about 43 seconds, not hard at all. You put in your pet's name. And then after you do that, it's going to ask you for your name. Is it a dog or a cat? What's the gender, breed, zip code, and your email address. There is a field for the promo code. It's ArchieDGen, and it's already going to be pre-filled if you go through insurewithlisa.com/pet, or we can create a dedicated and branded link that's specific to you, and it'll have your own logo, so your employees know that they're going to the company sponsored site and receiving the discount that you have offered to them. So the price of the insurance costs a lot on what you really want from it. If you look down on the bottom there, essential, preferred, ultimate plan, that really is where you choose what your annual maximum benefit is. It could be $5,000 or $10,000, or it can be unlimited. And then you choose your reimbursement percentage. It goes from 70%, 80, 90, 100. Obviously, the higher you go, the more the price increases. And then you choose a deductible, anywhere from $250 to $1,000. Higher deductible means lower monthly price. So for a cat, you can get the price to be as little as $5 and some change. And for a large old dog, it could be as much as $225 a month, but the average is $1.25 per day. And that's sort of just middle of the road, middle-aged pet, dog in reasonable health. FIBO really doesn't have very many exemptions for pre-existing conditions. If it's something that is already diagnosed, then it would not be treated under this plan. However, they would still offer a policy to you with the disclosure that that particular condition, hip dysplasia, for instance, wouldn't be covered. I think that's about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. As we all know, when you walk around the office, people like to talk about their pets more than their children. So we are actually seeing a lot of our clients taking on the pet insurance. You know, as Lisa mentioned, it's doubling in popularity year over year here in the United States. It is definitely a cheaper cost than insuring your family. Sticking with the time-saving benefits, we're going to head back to food and grocery delivery service. So offering connections with things like Instacart, Amazon Fresh, but saving employees time. So some of the benefits you can offer is education. So educating them about these options, educating them, maybe buying them their first delivery for free. I know I personally hate change, and the thought of changing how I get my groceries is petrifying. But the half hour to an hour I spend, you know, on a bi-daily basis going to get groceries is a lot of time away from my family. So perhaps buying the first delivery for your staff so they get comfortable with the idea. Also during COVID, it helps offer comfort so they're not in the grocery store if anyone has anxiety with things like that. But some of these services, it's really just about introducing the concept to your staff so that they can have the long-term benefits, even if they are paying for it on their own. Mobile auto services. So having a relationship with an automotive company that does repairs that will actually come to you. So whether it's repairs you need on your vehicle or even oil changes. Everybody's car needs an oil change. Again, this is something that I'm now spending my Saturday or my lunch break doing because it has to happen. But imagine if my employer had a relationship with a company like Bob & Sons Automotive in Manchester, where they come, they pick up my car, they go take it, get an oil change, and they bring it back. So when I'm done for the day, I never even had to do anything, but my car's gotten an oil change. I feel that's great. Bob & Sons does actually offer this for the greater Manchester area, but if you're not in the Manchester area, definitely look around to different mechanics. Depending on the size of your business and the number of employees you do have, you know, some bargaining power to say, hey, would you think about offering these services? Definitely a value add there. And again, these are at no cost to the employer. So having these relationships established, I know Bob & Sons does not charge the employer anything. It's a service that they provide because obviously they now have a captive audience that is using them for their oil changes. Next, we're going to pass it over to talk about career satisfaction with Lee Stabler. Take it away, Lee.
Thank you, Allison. So career satisfaction, the emphasis is on the satisfaction part. Oftentimes people think the conversation about career is about moving elsewhere, leaving what you're doing and going to another company or going to another department. If you move forward, slide. The three bubbles that I have is a simplified view. There are more bubbles that come into play in a business setting or a job setting. But in all cases, people can evaluate the effort that they're expending versus the purpose that they feel in what they're doing and the pleasure that they get. And most times in a theoretical conversation, that's where we talk about the balance of all of that. The intersection of those bubbles gives you the area of opportunity to have a life that you love or having a career that you enjoy. Over time, each of these bubbles will expand and contract at different rates in different ways. So that intersection can also increase opportunity or become very narrow. In the conversation we're having today, the effort part oftentimes is related to the salary and the healthcare benefits, the typical benefits that you get. So people equate what I'm doing to, I've got a paycheck, I got my basics taken care of. If we go ahead to the next slide, please. What we're looking for in the traditional benefits is something beyond the foundation, beyond the security. In the non-traditional sense, for a person, this is getting to the well-being area. Shay talked about earlier about the stresses and the anxieties that go on. My focus is in the area of the average individual, the person who's not dealing with the traditional mental issues or strains that need extra attention or care. But in this time of COVID and the modified way of operating, everybody's anxiety has been turned up, so that you might start saying, well, I'm feeling depressed, but you're really not in that cycle that requires medication. It's just the effort and anxiety has changed. So I work with people to deal with how to find that comfort and confidence again. How to, for that person who needs to think of some alternatives, how to get back to being creative. The more stressed and anxious you are, the less capability you have of reaching into that part of you to get new ideas. So we're just overall going to be increasing their productivity while they're with you. And you as an employer are focusing on more than just the individual showing up and taking a check. If you noticed Allison's reaction to the snack baskets, there's palpable, observable, energetic reactions to things like this. And that's what we're talking about with these non-traditionals. It is what ties a person to your company and the allegiance that goes along with that. Can we go ahead to the next slide? So there are different programs that I have created because of companies' engagements or individuals' engagements with me. We could be dealing with chaos, or having that stress and anxiety actually work for you, not detract from what you want to do. The perpetual people pleaser productivity tips is just my way of practicing my enunciation, but it is really for helping individuals who get stuck in, I've got to help everybody else, to be thoughtful about what do they need to get done and what do they do to take care of themselves. Everyone's different. There are different pathways to getting jobs done. Having opportunities for individualized programming or structured group settings that allow people to slide in and participate without being having the focus solely on them, you need that range. And working with me, we can devise solutions that can work around for those people that need and yearn for something more or are ready for that next transition. So again, I'm Lee Stabler. I'm a career satisfaction coach, and I look forward to having conversations with anybody who wants to engage in programs of this nature.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee, for that. BlueLion actually brought in Lee and one of his cohorts into one of our clients, and they did an awesome session during COVID to really help calm people, to help them focus, to deal with those anxieties and those stresses and kind of harness them like Lee was talking about. Those have not gone away. COVID has not gone away. So definitely a time to start looking at these type of benefits in ways that we can kind of, structure the stresses of life and the impact COVID has had into a more productive and beneficial way. Next, we've got travel planner. So we obviously a lot of us will provide time off to our staff, and we want them to take the time off. We want them to enjoy the time with their family. We want them to recharge. We want them to relax. Statistically, the most stressful thing for people is to go on vacation. It is super stressful because you're having to figure out where you're going, how you're going to pay for it, when you're going to get there, what you're going to do while you're there. And then you have to come back to everything piling up. And a lot of people actually don't enjoy taking a vacation. Bringing in a travel planner or offering a travel planner services can help reduce some of that stress. This is like telling your employees, I want you to enjoy your vacation. Work with this travel planner to help plan the best vacation. Most travel planners actually don't cost the person anything. The travel planner actually gets paid from the resorts and the places that they're booking you through at no additional cost to the person. So it's It's a great benefit to add, and it also reduces those stress, and you're making the connection. So again, it's not costing you anything to make that connection, but you're providing them the benefits of working with a great travel planner so they get the most out of that vacation. It also shows that you're invested in their time off and you want them to get the best out of their vacation and really support them going on vacation. Another profession that is great to bring in is a mortgage specialist. So everyone is constantly stressed about how they're going to make their bills, how they're going to pay their mortgage. There is super low rates right now to refinance. Again, it's a time. Do I have the time to look into this? Do I know where to look into this? Maybe I've never bought a home before. Maybe you have a younger population and they're thinking about home buying. Find a local mortgage specialist, have them come in and do a session. They would be more than happy to come in and talk to your employees about what it looks like to start saving for a house, what do you need before you buy a house, what to know, and those kind of things. Again, we're showing our staff that we're investing in their life because we invest in them as an employee. So it's not just about the time that they're punched in on your clock. It's about them as a person and things in their life that you're wanting to make sure they have the resources for. And these are a lot of what we've talked about today. Again, no cost to you. If you're looking in the area for a mortgage specialist, I know several that would be willing to do this. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. Speaking of money, so you've got this mortgage specialist that's going to tell them what they need to do. One of the things they need to do is save money. Now we're going to pass it over to Tina from Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Tina Brown is going to tell us about how they're going to help save money.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Brown. I'm from Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. I'm the Business Development Officer. If you can switch the slides, Allison, please. Some of the benefits that we do offer for employees, we really believe in helping businesses grow. And in order to do that, you need to have happy employees. That's one of the biggest things that we really believe as a foundation in our business, as a bank as a whole. And we really believe that's what makes your business grow as well. So we did come up with a program, and it's, we try to give back. So we're trying to give your employees $100 if they wanted to open up an account with us. We have some really great free accounts. And they just do a couple of activities and then they end up getting $100. They get free checks with it, everything else. We do offer free money markets and savings accounts and CDs, and you do always have one of us that will work with you at all times. So if your employees needed education on why do you save? How do you save? We are always right there. We work with you on all of that. There's so many new things that come out in the banking world. So, you do get the free checks, you get the free account with the free savings account. We offer the free set of checks to start you off with. We do instant issue debit cards right at the branch. Our online banking option is really great. It's super easy, for user friendly. You can pay bills right from your online banking, right off from your phone. You don't have to log into a computer. We do offer, most banks all offer savings accounts as well. We do have one that's called a savings transfer club account. And what this does is that if you set up a reoccurring transfer from a checking to a savings monthly, it's a nice, easy, convenient way to help save for like Christmas or a vacation or an annual expense that your employees are trying to plan, whether it's, maybe it's even taxes. So you just set it up as an automatic transfer from one account to another. You do get a nice little interest rate in this account, which aren't huge right now, but at least it's more than something. No minimum balances to open this, no monthly service charges. We really try hard to make sure that you guys get the employees get the money back in their pocket, not in ours. If you could switch slides, please. The other thing that we do offer, so when you have those um, health insurance policies, sorry, that have the high deductible health plans. We do offer free HSA accounts for business, for employees. So this is where they can save money, tax deferred, and they can use this money to help supplement any of those high deductibles. So before they hit their high deductible plan, they can use this money to pay for um, any medical expenses. Um, and those are free accounts. They've got no monthly service charges. They do get an interest rate on there. Um, they can get instant issue debit cards right at the branch. And that's a free, easy service. Some of the other things that we do offer, as Allison had talked about before, is that we do offer educational seminars for employees. Some of it could be as simple as like how to create a budget, how to balance a checkbook, even how to build credit. We do first-time home buyers seminars, how to save for retirement. And these can be customized. We can come in as a group setting, or because of COVID, we've definitely switched to Zoom. We can do it in group settings. We can do it as a private setting. I can customize things to each person because everybody's at a different level in life. And we really work closely with everybody to make sure that they're achieving our goals, because that's super important to us as a bank, as an industry, to make sure that people are out there and buying that dream home or saving for their retirement and getting to that next phase in life that's super important to them, or saving for their child's schooling or their grandson's schooling. So we really truly believe in being there as a support system and really helping them. And so all these benefits that we offer is something that's free, that you can offer to all of your employees. And we really work very easily with all of your employees and with you, whatever works easier for you guys as an added service.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing. Bar Harbor has been an exceptional bank for my company to work with. Definitely some great value adds. I know when I grew up, my parents had that Christmas Club account that we all remember. Most companies don't offer those type of benefits, but we always hear, especially HR, we always hear our staff is struggling during those times of year for those large expenses, whether it's to pay for taxes, whether it's the Christmas expense or the vacation they never got to have, or that down payment on the house. So really having a relationship with a bank where you can bring a banker into your business to talk to your employees about those times and also allow them these accounts that you can set up is definitely an added benefit there. We're going to wrap up with a couple more things here. So local business discounts. So connecting with local businesses to see if they'd offer a corporate discount to your employees. New Hampshire is made up of 70% small business. So do not think that if you are not BAE, you cannot go into a gym and say, hey, would you mind giving my staff a discount if we partnered with you? So if I had you come in and tell all of my staff about your gym, could you give them $5 off a month? So don't be afraid to ever have those conversations. Again, you have a captive audience for those people out in the community that would probably love to have your staff as their clients. Also connecting with high schools. High schools have those sports cards. On average, it's a $20 expense. You could offer to buy one of those for every one of your staff. So not only are you supporting a local cause and a local school, but then you're also equipping your staff with those cool, awesome discount cards. So maybe it's $10 off here, 20% off here. Typically there's stuff that lasts throughout the year as well. So that's another great one. And then discounts at local restaurants, stores, or maybe even ski resorts. If you're local to an attraction, popping in and saying, hey, sending over an email, we're in your neighborhood. My staff loves your facility. Would you mind doing a discount program? Or maybe we could do a staff day. Maybe there's one day they could get a discount this summer. Maybe it's Canopy Lake Park. Maybe it's a movie theater. But just reaching out, you never know if you don't ask. And we have seen a lot of local companies wanting to give back or wanting to have those relationships with other businesses in their area. recap, we've gone through a lot of benefits today. Reminder, we are going to share this slide deck as well as the recording and everyone's contact information that was a presenter today. Don't be afraid of looking at other benefits, flexible benefits, whether you're offering, a bucket of money for them to go out and purchase all their own different benefits, whether you're trying to get some unique things in the workplace, whether you're doing some value add, maybe some time saving things. Research additional resources and make sure you're looking at other resources that you have. Reach out to your insurance broker. They may also have some other benefits that they can provide. Your insurance company. I know Harvard Pilgrim and Anthem both have different types of discount programs that they have. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask those as well. And then lastly, I just want to let you know, BlueLion does offer HR consulting, fully outsourced HR. We can help create handbooks, safety programs. We can help with performance appraisals, HR gap coverage. We can help if you have an HR person give notice or if they're out on maternity leave, like mine, or any hotline access. So we are here as a resource for everything HR. Here is our contact information, but I do want to thank everyone for joining us today for this presentation. I hope you were able to grab something out of it. I hope you can take this back to your team and perhaps implement one or two things. Don't try and change Rome in a year, but definitely keep one or two things. And then I highly recommend every year adding at least one benefit to your benefit package to make sure that you are increasing your benefits, even if it's not increasing your cost. You don't have to increase your cost, as you saw today, in order to provide that great benefit package to your staff. Thank you very much.